Welcome to another draft physics presentation. Such. I have no clue why I'm making this video, except that everything I've been watching lately has just been so irritating. So I just have a general lament about the quality of physics done both by the amateurs and the professionals. Just horrible. Everywhere you go, it's horrible. And even, I noticed when I was doing that interferometer thing, reading that one page, it was written back in 1982 or 3, and it was actually something called the Amateur Science Foundation or Association or something, and in Britain, it was taken over by some sort of, college, oceanography thing or something, just disappointing, But anyway, just lamenting. So I watched some, the talking head guys, Dawkins, deGrasse Tyson, Green, whatever the other guy is, Lawrence Krauss, all those people, and they were doing storytelling, and it was just so bad. It's science fun. I don't know I don't exactly know why they threw Dawkins in, because it's mostly physics, but whatever. They threw him in because he summed it up with some sort of "isn't nature wonderful" or some kind of crap like that, Anyway, and so then Ken Wheeler made this just awful video, but all of them are awful, but this was just, it was just exceedingly awful. So maybe we'll play a little bit out of that, and like I said, it's just every video, a Veritasium video, an old one, but claiming that relativity has something to do with creating electromagnetism. But of course, he doesn't say in the video electromagnetism; he just says magnetism. And it's this whole moving charge thing, and somehow time dilation has something to do with something. And when we know that time dilation only kicks in when you're moving almost the speed of light, and it's just stupid. And then the dissident science guy just made a video where he's ragging about people talking about the end of the universe and the space expanding and all that kind of stuff. And yes, it's all sort of just made up. It's completely theoretical, but his opposite theory is just as aggressive and bold in his statement that, oh, can't you see, it's just like obvious that the universe goes forever and everything's infinite all the way down and infinite all the way up. Yet there appears to be no mechanism for that. We don't see anything in our universe moving a constant speed. None of the big stuff is moving a constant speed. There's no correlate to photon. There's no correlate to waves of anything. We see nothing in the big universe to indicate that there is any functional principles that are similar to the functional principles underlying our universe. So the two don't scale at all, and they don't match. Now, if they did, we could sit there and say, yes, it goes infinitely, but there's no match. There's no connection, really. None of the same principles seem to apply beyond the fact that there exists attraction and repulsion. We don't even see repulsion, frankly, except in magnetism in the big universe, where the little universe is just kind of made of it. It's a ton of it. It's pretty much the whole game is keeping stuff from crashing into each other. Where the big universe, it's like, how do you create some crashes? Because it's like you're going to run out of crashing force. Well, anyway, it's just the idea of these people who think there's something so obvious, and they're discussing questions that are completely out of bounds, completely out of the realm of any hope of having evidence to defend your assumptions. Because there just isn't any. It's like when people start talking about how, well, there's zillions of stars, therefore there must be life in the universe. Because it happened here. So if it happened once, it has to happen again. By the rule of, I made that up, because there is no rule that requires anything to ever be to happen twice or 3 times or 17 times or 7 million times. There's absolutely no such frickin' rule. Something can be just outside the realm of it's going to happen again. And when you look at the evolution of the living organism, it's full of one-time events that never happened again. Even over 4 billion years, it only happened once. And then 2 billion years, it only happened once. And then 1 billion years, it only happened once. Then 500,000 years, it only happened once. There's tons of examples of things like that where it just doesn't happen again. And we're made of maybe a million of those. It's not like we're made out of just a few one-time events. We're made out of a whole collection of one-time events. So it's pretty obvious, it's pretty hard to get here. It's rare chemistry, not common chemistry. And that's the only thing you can say. It's not easy chemistry. It doesn't just happen. A whole bunch of complex things have to happen, a whole bunch of causes and effects, and very improbable ones. Lots of rolling of snake eyes 5 or 6 times in a row kind of things have to happen for you to get here. That's the facts. And those facts just don't scream, oh yeah, go ahead, make assumptions about the existence of other life forms. It just doesn't give you the authority to do that. But they do it anyway, because fuck evidence. It's not about the facts. It's about what we want to be true. Something like that. And it's pretty irritating. This whole agenda physics. And propaganda everywhere. So, and that's what this Ken Wheeler's just such a propagandist. I mean, I haven't thumbed down a video in months, but I thumbed it down. I just was like, this is such a bad piece of crap. So why modern science is degenerate and ignoble. I mean, it's just a silly title. That's all you can say about it. It's who cares about its whether it has inappropriate sex or whatever ignoble is, or wears dirty pants. It's just these aren't even appropriate arguments in terms of the words used. Ugh.
Hey, back when you go to Florida. Why modern science is 100% bullcrap, and I'm certainly no
All right, yeah, you are. I mean, this 100% word is just silly. There's lots of good science done by lots of scientists over the history of mankind, all that kind of stuff. Lots of good innovations, blah, 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 blah. It's just silly to say 100% bullcrap. Stupid thing to say. Retarded, ignorant. An ignorant man would say something that's such a preposterous exaggeration.
I mean, I've got 6 computers and all sorts of techno gadget.
Right, and you'll buy more and more of it and keep begging for money. Doesn't make much sense, but yeah, okay, suckers fall for
it. Garbage, in various rooms of the house. Modern science is pathetic atomism and materialism, denotatively and connotatively.
Yeah, I don't know, denotatively and connotatively. I mean, why don't you just say it somehow is, by definition, the poster child for blah blah blah. Yes, yes. The idea that physicists are looking for physical things causing physical events. Yes, lots of people believe in cause and effect. Okay, so somehow you don't. Now you believe in perturbations, you believe in things happening, but you really don't think human beings are being controlled by cause and effect. That it doesn't matter if you're born in China, you'll still speak English because it's you. That's who you are. Nobody could change that. Nothing could change that. You're not a programmed machine. No, you're special. Just nonsense.
Everything is believed to be some sort of existential particle, empirical phenomenal particle that can be
Existential, particle, and empirical. I mean, you're using the same words that have completely different meaning. I mean, existential usually means something beyond the physical, and so how can you say it's both the benign? So modern physics says it's benignly simple and existential. No, they don't say that. They have some elements have special powers. Yes. That's a problem in modern physics. They've given certain elements special powers when they can't figure out how it works. When they can't see the cause and effect, they go, special power.
Measured and quantized. And of course, modern science is not science, which would be the quest for truth.
Right, and there's not a truth in the fact that the photon and a 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 photon do seem to have very consistent properties. Like if you met one, you really have met them all. They're kind of like cockroaches. You know, you really no point in naming them because you'll never be able to tell them apart.
Obviously, so it would be empirical truth. However, original science, a la the Pythagoreans, Plato, and Aristotle, was both.
Right. So they didn't just observe things and then comment on what they observed, just like the more modern. So 10,000 years ago, they didn't observe things and comment on what they observed. And then 5,000 years ago, they observed things and comment on what they observed. I mean, isn't it always been the same? Come on. There's not some... Science is always doing the same thing, and we have much better tools, and as the tools improve, our observations improve, and we can rule out certain things like Sasquatch and abominable snowmen and all that kind of crap.
Both the cosmos nuitos, but also the cosmos thitos.
Yeah, whatever. I know a few Spanish words, Chinese words or something like "makahai" to you. I think that's jerk off, but I don't know. Who the hell knows? Should I throw it into every video? I'll just throw in a few jibber jabber words just to fuck around. I mean, what's the point of that crap?
Metaphysical world as well as the physical world.
Yeah, well, again, so this is what people eat up, right? They want to have some truth conversation about what runs the world, and now it's metaphysics. So metaphysics is now the truth. So there is a God, or there is spirit dust, or there is pixie wixies. What the hell is metaphysics, Ken? Just why don't you explain to me the difference between physics and metaphysics? It's either cause and effect, or it's not cause and effect. Do you believe in cause and effect, retard? I mean, fathead?
The most important things in the world cannot be measured, nor can they be calculated.
Yeah, so again, says you, I mean, what do you mean they can't be? I don't understand. I mean, to me, the most important thing in the world is... Yeah, and I can measure it. I don't. What are you even talking about? The most important things in the world. What are those, Ken? Your emotions. Is that it? Our emotions are the most important thing. The truth isn't important. Facts aren't important. Feeling good about it is important. Feeling special is important. Everybody having the proper color pink balloon. That's important.
By math or by any pathetic damn science.
Okay, and math are the pathetic science. So math meaning recognizing relationships. So, math is, the diameter of the circle is related to the circumference of the circle. The triangle, the angle side will tell you all kinds of area things and explain all kinds of shit. You can tell how high and tall things are very far away. You can do all kinds of little math. Somehow that's not being reasonable or rational, is to understand there's relationships between things. And that's sort of the nature of cause and effect.
Scientist. An idea, some ideas anyway, are worth more than, a mountain of gold.
Well, why don't you just point out what those some ideas are then, Ken? Why don't you tell us? The little gooey feeling you get when you do some mantra, blah, 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 to the Magno, Spiro, Magno. What are you talking about, Ken?
It's ideas, wisdom, imagination.
Yeah, wisdom, imagination. Yeah, wisdom about what? Okay, thinking there's an ether. In his opinion, that's being wise. Recognizing the ether and there's a bunch of coaxial cables that are all ready to be used by photons at any moment. They will coaxial their way somewhere. Woo, woo, woo. That's wisdom. Very important that you know that, because that'll really make your life meaningful somehow. Once you know that there is no photon, it's just a thing going coaxially somewhere. Ooh, there. Now you have wisdom. Now you will not take wooden nickels. You'll be smart because you know the secret of the ether coaxial cabley thing. The hyperboloid. Yeah. How is that wisdom, Ken? How is that functional or useful or anything at all but a bunch of I'm different and special? Isn't that all you're saying is, I don't agree with all those people who believe in materialism. I'm different and special. Isn't that all you're trying to do?
Nation, faith, love, and hope.
Faith, love, and hope. I mean, words that anybody rational should know are all rubbish. I mean, just complete crap. Faith, love, and hope. I mean, we know that hope is just a waste of time. That's like wishing on stars. That's just fucking retarded. So you can't hope your way into a better solution. You have to actually act your way into a better solution. So we kind of know that hope doesn't fix cause and effect. That just no point in doing that wishing or hoping thing. It's something you do emotionally, but it's not something you do intellectually. Okay, it's not a smart man's game, hope. So we know that. And then love. Now, we all kind of, rational people can dissect what love means, which is me horny, okay, a lot of the time. It is cute. It's molestable. I like to play with it. I love it because it's going to do something for me. The Maserati is going to make my penis look longer, that kind of thing, and fatter. So, yeah, love, useless word. What was the other little pixie word? Faith. Oh, I mean, just amazing. Coming from somebody who's preaching how people aren't paying attention to the facts, and they're not being respectful of the process. And somehow faith should be part of our process. That's how we should process the world around us, is to just have faith in it. Just believe in spite of the evidence. I mean, that's the definition of faith, basically. Belief in spite of the evidence. It's not only without evidence, but in spite of it. In spite of the evidence. Screw the evidence. This is what this asshole's preaching. Now, if that isn't fucking religion, people, so what are all these camera whores? Are they all a bunch of God botherers? They're all sappy little creepoids who are desperate from little comforting stories about how, the little nursery rhyme Jeebus is going to come down and pet their little heinies? What the hell's wrong with you photographer fucks? Why aren't you offended by this tripe?
That have built the entire fucking world, excuse me.
Yes, no, they haven't built the entire fucking world. The entire fucking world was built by people like Galileo and Newton and a lot of other people. And you didn't need to believe in ether to be to make constructive contributions. So again, just more nonsense that we never would have figured out what an AC motor is if it wasn't for. Yes, we would have. It's just such nonsense. We don't need ether theory to invent alternating current. So it's just more nonsense.
My language, but I had to throw a cuss word in there.
The
pyramids were built on wisdom.
More nonsense. They were built on complete fucktardery. I mean, some kind of idiotic notion of a pharaoh that he's worth it. I'm worth the lives of millions of people. Just wasted labor. Instead of building Hoover dams, whatever they would call on the Nile, instead of building more canals and more good physical infrastructure that the civilization can all enjoy, he wasted zillions of hours of human work to build useless pieces of shit to memorialize themselves and, voyage into space or whatever the fuck the idiots thought. Just a preposterously stupid thing. I mean, and then it's the simplest geometric structure, what, if they made a square You'd be impressed. Yes, they built a big giant triangle. Wow! That's so incredible. How did they figure that out to make a triangle? Yeah, I guess they figured out that triangles can't get blown over very easy.
The works of Aristotle and Plato. None of these things.
Blah, 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 blah. Again, more stuff, 1,000-year-old crap where they didn't even come up with the porcelain toilet. They didn't come up with anything really, really brilliant. They made some observations about human beings and how to socially organize us and try to have justice and try to, make something called civilization. And they made decent contributions. But they're contributions that would have been made eventually. They're all discussions that would inevitably have to happen, Ken. They weren't dependent on some... How do you know that Plato believed in ether?
By the measure of science, who only believes in particles and is atomistic and materialistic by definition.
Believes in particles, atomistic and materialistic, when completely the truth is they don't believe in anything, conventional physics, in the sense that the whole quantum mechanics thing is a destruction of particles. But this materialism, yes, they believe in cause and effect. Atomism, yes, the idea that things are reducible. Now, somehow you don't think they're reducible. Is that what you're saying? Why don't you just say that? No, I don't just think that a photon is a perturbation in a coaxial cable. I think it's a much more invisible thing than that. It doesn't have any entity at all. I mean, you sort of do imply that in some of your videos. You do talk about the nothing being part of the nothing of the nothing of the nothing. So yeah, you can sort of get that. But again, why would any rational person jump to the conclusion that the world that seems to have identifiable somethings in it that have distinct properties and characteristics, why would that rational person say, oh yeah, I just got to remember that the real universe doesn't have things with properties and characteristics, because it's all some sort of mush all mixed together in a bunch of ether beefer, and nothing has any identity or properties or magnitude, or everything's counter spacing and counter blah blah. All this is some sort of counter thing. This is like some angsty little frickin' 13-year-old who somehow, has to prove he isn't one of the Borg, by being eccentric and silly.
Which, of course, is the most pathetic form of false science, and this is actually what...
Yeah, it's a pathetic form of false science to sit there and rationally recognize things have properties that can be identified and that you can give things a label. Magnifying glass. What do you call it? Magic marker. Photon. See? It's rational.
Quote from an ancient Neoplatonist. I remember it was Syrianus who said that, or Proclus who said that. Called it profane science.
Yes, well, whatever. Yes. Back in, 2000 BC, somebody said science is dirty. Amazing. Anyway, enough of this crap. I mean, it's just, the whole video is just this crap. He always does the same thing. He just repeats the same video 5 times in the one video. So,
98% of the splendor of the world, both ancient and modern, the ideas and the wisdom and the faith, love, and hope that have generated everything that anybody with 2 goddamn brain cells holds dear. Wow.
Okay, so everything that we hold dear wasn't generated by the meticulous collection of factual data regarding causes and effects. Our understanding of the weather, how to grow the food better, how to do medicine, how to do everything we do, wasn't generated by that meticulous process of identifying, quantifying, and labeling and constructing formulas to understand the relationships between things. That didn't build our civilization and our technology and many of the comforts we have. No. Came from ... Fill in the blank with your special pixie religion.
The pyramids, wow, invention. Wow, a really beautiful book. Just take any book on earth that is popular or even unpopular. There's no math for that, for the idea.
Okay, so there's no math for the idea. So again, he thinks that somehow it's not cause and effect. That people don't become good writers because they acquire, they become functional and disciplined in their use of words and vocabulary. They're introduced to it well. And the reason why some other people don't become great writers is because they didn't have a very good education. They really don't understand how sentence structures work, and they don't understand how to communicate ideas in any kind of, practical way. These aren't real facts that determine how things work in the world. You're just either magically powered or you're not magically powered. But there's no there's no thought process that the skilled technician goes through in performing his, like a surgeon doesn't acquire these disciplines. He doesn't practice stitching. He doesn't, read the books on, oh yeah, I got to watch out for that blood vessel because it's a little sensitive. Can't touch that one too hard. Blah blah. They don't know that from experience, from education. And an artist is the same way. He doesn't know how to apply paint based on practice, and he doesn't acquire technique through practice. He just has it or he doesn't. Is that your theory, idiot? Fucktard? Silly person. You're just such a silly person. No. Alright. So anyway, well, I guess we'll do a little bit of this other jerk's video. But so, size of the universe. Why mainstream science doesn't something. Doesn't what? Well, I guess I'll go to the video and see the title there. So annoying. This one's probably sped up because I had to find halfway through it. I said, "Oh, I guess I forgot about the speeding up thing." I said, "I got to speed this up."
Hello, I'm David D. Hilser. I am a critical thinker, dissident scientist, and I'm here to tell you the truth about science. Something university professors won't tell you, the mass media won't tell you, and certainly those science evangelists won't tell you. Well, I often have an idea and I'll wander around the internet, and sometimes I find a gem, and I found a gem of a website. It's called Closer to Truth. And it is great.
So he means in a negative way, I guess. I don't know what he's doing here. So he plays about 14 seconds of their commentary. So there's just absolutely nothing in here about exactly what their theories are. But the whole question, why would there even be something called why mainstream science doesn't know the answer? Why would anybody know the answer to the question in anything other than we're just making it up? All right. I mean, there's a little bit of evidence for the Big Bang. It seems a reasonable bit of speculation in some regards. But yeah, exactly, it creates all kinds of any theory of instigation of the universe requires you to show some sort of evolution. Now they have some theories of evolution, and the galaxies that are furthest away appear to be small, things like that. But it might just be because it's very far away. When you have the whole thermodynamic problem, I mean, I can just talk about the photons that are leaving every sun in the universe. Those photons are going out. They're leaving town. Now, unless you have a theory that they might bounce back, and I would sort of say that might be the cosmic background radiation. But anyway, all of this is just, all you can do is have like a really loose conversation about it. And I don't even think mainstream science, I don't think too many of them are making outrageous declarations about these kind of things. They're, they talk way too aggressively. But it's a subject for which there's just no evidence. There's just no way to have it in any kind of like rational, disciplined way because there's so little evidence that allows you to see creation. It just isn't there. And your emphatic statements, it's infinity and beyond. And so he just keeps talking about how infinity somehow answers the question, and it doesn't answer the question. It's just another God of the gaps. We'll just pretend everything was everything forever and ever, and it's just, it's just making it up. Come on. It's not even a get out of here
Our
Bad.
world is undergoing profound change.
Something went wrong.
Science and technology are transforming our lives
Wrong
with
video.
dizzying.
I don't know how it does that. I don't know why it ends up linking to videos I didn't click
Hello,
on.
I'm David D. Hilscher. I
I
am
don't
a
want to
critical
do you
thinker.
again. I don't want to do that again. I hate these little ads.
The universe doesn't have a horizon. There's a horizon until which we can see using light. That's the way we should say this. It's being said completely wrong. This is where they mix up. They mix up what they mean by universes. They mix up multiverses. All of these things. They mix.
Whatever. That's not very well stated. But the point is yes, it's all made up. And your argument that somehow you have evidence supporting the idea of an infinite all the way up or down, you don't have any evidence of that either. And I would argue that there's rational reasons to say it can't be, because there's no evidence of the forever leaking into our universe. There's no evidence of the forever particles coming into the universe.
Mixed words, mixed messages.
The universe is 14 billion years old. That horizon size is order of magnitude 14 billion light years across. Okay, so that's the size of the universe that we have today. That is also the size of the universe where we can do experiments and say anything about the contents of the universe. Now, if you ask the question, what's outside that boundary? The answer is more stuff. Yeah. In other words, more universe like our universe that probably has the same laws of physics as our universe, even though we can't officially measure things out there.
Yeah, so I mean, part of their speculation is they're saying a Big Bang could happen, and then you have this idiotic expansion in space where you move faster than the speed of light, and therefore you escape your history. That is, you jump somewhere where you could see something that now wasn't as old as you thought it should be to get to you, because you've jumped further away by some magical process. So now something that's closer to you in time looks like it's further away in time. Something like that. But it's like smoke rings, I'm just saying you could be in the smoke ring and you can only see so far, so it all looks like smoke. But maybe when you can see further, you can see, oh, we're in a smoke ring. But you won't know until you can see far enough.
How do you know that? We don't know that for sure because we can't officially measure things out.
Right, so why it's just a silly conversation. Why is anybody indulging in it? There's no experts on the subject. This has nothing to do with physics. This has nothing to do with collecting facts and putting the facts together and drawing rational conclusions. There's way too insufficient number of facts for anybody to seriously do anything called hard science on this subject. It's just religion. And I just admit this is a religious conversation we're going to have now about creation. I suppose it's not overtly religious if you just say, yes, it's a mechanical process. I would speculate that the mechanical process has some physical dimensions, just as the Earth has physical dimensions and the moon is a size. There isn't any evidence that everything goes forever. There's lots of evidence that things only go this big, or this big, or this big, and no bigger. That's sort of what the evidence points to. So maybe the same rule applies to the universe itself. It can only get so big.
But
Okay, so we talked about the universe. He says the universe is this big. This is what we know. The Big Bang. He talks about space. Space is expanding. Yet, what's out there? Oh, well, then he starts talking about it. What happened to the Big Bang? What happened to all those words, all of those linguistic constructions that they make, which is the idea of language is simple. I speak this linear flow of sound waves that means something that goes into your brain, and I'm trying to recreate some type of pattern in the other person's brain to try to understand something that I'm trying to explain. Look at where they are. They're now outside of that as if, okay, is that what the multiverses are then? They're just talking, okay.
So you're asking these questions. First, all you should say is nobody really is an authority on these subjects. And then you should clearly say, yeah, I have my own dopey opinion, and it's just that, a dopey opinion based on very little evidence. But instead, you assert, as if you have special knowledge or knowledge of some kind, that, oh, it's clear the universe is infinite. It's clear. Everybody can see that. Most people believe that. That's what he does here. I don't really want to play it all to find that bit.
Going to go to this one last guy here. I don't want to go on too long here. And his
Again, he plays 10 seconds of the
density of the
video.
universe to the right and to the left of you was almost exactly the same. So we did not have an explanation. We came with one, and that was inflationary theory.
All right, well, this part I didn't even understand, because actually this guy says stuff that's like, oh yeah, we saw that after the Big Bang, the explosion, there was the same amount of stuff over here as there was over there. Well, that's exactly what you would expect. So, sorry, that doesn't make too much sense. Frankly. I mean, obviously, if you think you're seeing the entire universe, you would be stupid anyway, because, yeah, there's really no evidence that we're seeing the entire universe, especially back when they speculated about the Big Bang. They had no reason to think they had seen as far as we can see. But of course, everything around you will look like the same amount, because anywhere you are in the explosion, everything around you is going to be exploding the same amount. I mean, you're not going to see a change in density looking one way or the other.
And then we started studying inflationary theory more precisely, and what we have found.
No, jump ahead here.
use this. And then he goes through the reasons. Inflation. We believe in inflation. Okay, we're going to come back to all of this. And of course, why is that there? Well, that's a problem for because that was trying to solve the problem of the Big Bang. And then they said, we're going to study inflationary theory.
I think it was the problem was the cosmic background radiation. They somehow had to make that. How come we're receiving it now? And the only way they could do that was to, again, create more time. Yeah, they had to somehow. They somehow had to make the fact that we were moving, and that the radiation was moving the speed of light, and it wouldn't make any sense time-wise that it would be, I don't know how to say it, as far away as it should have been.
Listen to what he's saying. He's saying that they are studying inflationary theory.
Nothing wrong with that statement, actually, right? But again, I don't think these are the important questions in physics. I think they ought to really study are the basic experiments, the ones that are the foundation for their assumptions. Like maybe they ought to do some gravitational lensing experiments in a serious way, or analyze the images they actually have now and try to formulate some explanation for why the lensing doesn't exist where it should exist. And likewise interferometers and the two slit and all the basic functions, just deal with those. The assumption of bent space, time dilation, time being a dimension, and the wave part of quantum mechanics, in my opinion, are the pieces of physics that need more attention, and we've got to spend a lot less time worrying about expansion nonsense. Not an important subject.
Go to this closer to truth. Listen to this. Use your critical brain. When red flags are coming up all over the place, believe it. They tell you.
Right, and so he does the same thing. So I'm just saying, for every red flag they create by exaggerating their knowledge base, he does exactly the same thing by making proclamations about how obvious it is the Earth used to be a tiny little marble and it got big, and it's quite obvious that the whole universe is infinitely infinite. So I can't see any difference in the fact that both are incredible as science, not credible science. That's all that needs to be said, I think. So anyway, I don't feel fully satisfied with this video in terms of I probably should have played the talking heads and some of their silliness or something, but that probably wouldn't have done it either. But anyway, now that I have the Scientific League guy made a video, and I felt kind of bad. He's had some rough luck lately. His house falling down and different things, and then his drone flew away, and he kind of gave up. He's just, I'm done. I think he'll probably come back to making videos. I can't say for sure. It's kind of once you start doing it, it is a little bit habit forming. But it is just kind of funny. You can just see a guy whose faith is being tested, and I feel bad too because it's not really going to work. The science for Jesus thing, because most people who are going to want to hear about Jesus every time you make a video, you know, those people really don't give a shit about science, because they basically say, well, Jesus would have told me the science if he wanted me to know science. Jesus didn't want me to do any of that stuff. He wanted me to do the bird natural thing. He wanted me to, do the birds have microwave ovens? No. He wanted me to just give my life to, go ahead and get eaten by the bears, because, in heaven there's, you get to eat bears instead. Something like that. Some kind of whatever. Well, I'm just saying they're just not interested in finding out the answers. They're discovering the nature of our existence, and clearly most of the facts point to very un-Jesus-y things like evolution and all that kind of crap. So you can't really mix science and conventional Jesus-style religion. It's really not going to be a winner. So if you want to believe in the Jesus, that's okay, but you probably shouldn't smear that crap on your science videos. It just doesn't do them any good. So anyway, yeah, I think that's but anyway, I just felt bad though. This drone flew away. And it's got I had that happen once. I put a camera on a helium balloon, and it was only a $10 camera, but $10, and it was a little bit too windy. I had to watch the wind, because the balloons really get blown by wind. And a lot of trees here. So anyway, so it brushed into a little tree, got it loose and everything, but somewhere the camera got knocked off the balloon, and I could never find it again. It's just irritating. So I sort of know the feeling. But that's it. No, so I just feel, like I said, I really don't like religious people, and I don't, blah, 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 blah. But he seems like a nice enough guy, right? So I'm just saying, I feel bad for him. So, and I hope he keeps making videos, just because he sort of has he has a nice voice, and he has a way of making a video that's watchable. And but yeah, I don't really don't go for his science much, but whatever. He's less irritating than other people. Let's just put it that way. Of the crank science out there, he's less obnoxious. Mostly. Alright, so that's enough of the video. I probably shouldn't have made this video. I just kind of I'm just irritated. So I'd like to be able to watch some kind of science video that's, I don't it doesn't have to completely conform to my definition of the truth, but it just has to be within some kind of boundaries, and everybody's been just so way out of bounds lately. So that's it. Till next time, and such. No, till next time.